Hello once again, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube. This is Sergeant Gustav coming back for another video. It's been about a week or two since posted the last episode of Elder Scrolls Online. Today I got something a little bit different. Elder Scrolls Online has a patch today, and I didn't want to wait around for that to finish installing and such. And I figured why not show off some ships. So today I'm going to do maybe a match or two of World of Warships for you guys here. Now, so far in my dockyard, or port I guess, I have 5 ships. I have the St. Louis, a Tier 3 American cruiser. Pretty much, it's virtually a battleship because of all of its guns. I want to say it has about 18 guns in the current installment I have, and that's the upgraded armament. Next, I have the first American battleship, Tier 3, the South Carolina. Battleships do a ton of damage, but they are slow reloads and generally pretty slow ships. So you want to be careful in how you engage with these guys. Next up, I have the Tier 3 Japanese cruiser, the Tenryu. 4 guns. It also comes equipped with 2 torpedo tubes, shown here and here. Pretty decent ship. The firing range is actually a little bit further than both the South Carolina and the St. Louis, which shares the same range, about 10 kilometers. This one actually gets out to about 11 kilometers, if I remember correctly. It's right around 11. And I also have the first Japanese battleship in my port as well, the Kawachi. I'm probably butchering that name. Looks like it has a pretty good armament here, a little bit more guns than the South Carolina. Let's hop into this one first. Show you guys what combat looks like in this game. Now, since there was just a patch, there's not the normal 15,000 players online. It's about 7,000, so it might take a little bit to get in at first. Here we go. Looks like we found a battle. Oh, good. A interesting map for battleships. Alright, so battleships, since they are really slow and such, it's actually best to engage from a distance. So pretty much staying in this outside area on this map in particular, either on this side or on the opposite side. You want to stick to as open water as you can for maneuverability, because these things have a huge turn radius. You know, when you're getting into these little islands here, trying to turn to get your guns lined up will probably result you in running aground, and then pretty much you making a fool of yourself as you're trying to back up off of the island. Alright, so let's take a look at the... Oh, good. Relatively low tiers, just 2 and 3. Alright, so first thing you'll notice from my screen here is if you're used to playing World of Tanks, or even the third wargaming game, which shall remain anonymous, this is a little bit different layout. I mean, you still have your map in this sector here, but down here, these numbers with the orange and blue line, these mark your guns. Now the line turns blue, or that lightish, almost like a teal kind of color, when your guns are aligned and they're on target, pretty much where your cursor is. Now if you notice how slow my guns are moving, that gives you an idea of how quickly battleship guns move. Down here at the bottom, you'll notice HE and AP rounds, pretty much high explosive, armor piercing, same thing as in World of Tanks. So that is actually pretty familiar. Right here, this shows your turning bar. Now, I've taken my hand off of the A key, and you notice it slowly goes back down to 0. That shows how quickly or how long it takes your ship to get out of from turning, depending on the direction you chose. Now, the R key, this is pretty much like your repair kit and fire extinguisher put into one. And this is actually pretty nice. It's not just one use per battle, it actually recharges. As you notice, it activates for 10 seconds, and its reload time is 120 seconds. So that's how long you have to wait before you can use that again to take care of any damage that's done to the ship, whether you have holes in it, whether you have a fire on board, whether you have components knocked out. That'll fix all of that. Now, for battleships, specifically, they have a repair option. And this is actually pretty neat. This actually allows the battleship to repair some of its health. Let's see if I can hit this destroyer. Lit him on fire and took out most of his health. That was another good hit. And one more set of rounds out there. And he's gone.
We've sunk an enemy destroyer.
Power of a battleship, man. They can be pretty scary. Alright, so that's pretty much the laydown of how things work here. In the lower left, it's kind of like your little tank model in World of Tanks. Same kind of thing. Where it has W and S, those show your speed levels. You adjust those by just tapping W or S, and that increases or lowers your speed, depending on what level you have it on. Kind of like the cruise control. That's the easiest way to compare it. That's the easiest thing to compare it to in World of Tanks. Now, it also gives you the compass in the lower left, and this shows you, I really like this, it kind of shows you all kinds of great information down there. It gives you it shows you which way your ship's facing. So when you're in these, pretty much in the monocular view, or for grid reference of where enemies are at, you can quickly know the information. And it also shows you where your guns are pointing. They also have an autopilot feature, which brings you into this overview, and you can use this and to select a point, and that's where your ship will go to. Everybody's kind of turning away, so I'm going to start turning around as well. I think. Maybe not. I'm not sure what these destroyers are doing up here. Now it looks like my gun's max range is almost 9 kilometers. So I actually have a target right over there for me to fire at. Now with battleships, you notice that I'm firing each cannon individually. I can hold down the mouse button and it'll fire them in quick succession. But with battleships, once again you have long reload times, and you don't have quite as many guns as, like, especially on the St. Louis, to just hold down the mouse button and be able to track where you're fired and not really worry too much about reload. I think that's gonna hit. Yep, and that's another confirmed
Enemy
kill.
cruiser sunk.
I'm gonna start turning my ship a little bit. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna flip around. Because if you look at the map, all of the guys in my team are pretty much way down from me. I'm more or less on my own, especially since they just took out the destroyer over there. That's his wreck right over there. And fighting two battleships head-on is not so nice. It's like trying to fight an E-100 or a Moz. Now, if you're used to the fast-paced action in World of Tanks,
Our team has taken the lead.
which I know sometimes that may not be quite so fast-paced, but it goes pretty quick. This game takes it at a little bit slower of a pace, just because of the nature of what you're driving. This game requires a lot of thinking. Now, if you guys just want a game that you can kind of mellow out to, World of Tanks is pretty good for that, because you don't really need to. A lot of that is more instinct-based than actual thinking. On this, you gotta think about where you're going, where you're gonna position yourself to line up your shots, actually lining up your shots up to the point of actually firing. And pretty much, if you don't stay with the pack, then you're going to be taken out pretty quickly. Or if you're sticking out more so than the others, you're going to be taken out a lot more quickly. Alright, so I got to get up here to help out this other battleship who's in a pretty bad position here. Alright, so we got a South Carolina up here. I'm going to try to swing around to have at least 2 of my guns pointed towards it. At this point, I am within range of that South Carolina, but he doesn't seem to have noticed me or is firing at me, which is kind of interesting. At this point, I am within range of engaging the South Carolina, and I'm going to start opening fire on him. I'm going to fire HE first, and then after my guns finish reloading, I'm going to load up. I'm going to queue up high explosive or armor piercing. Actually, you know what? Now that the Chester is over there, I'm going to have to change my mind on that. Now, one of the nice things, if you stop moving your mouse, it'll actually follow along at the current vector that your mouse is aimed at. So it makes for tracking shots easy. Or at least easier. Alright, that was an overshot. Alright. This is gonna be a tough one. Now that I'm holding down. I held down the mouse on that one, because he was pretty much going in a straight line there at a fairly slow pace, so I was pretty confident where my shot was going to land. Get away from my guns to line up here. Now, when you're in a battleship, you really want to fire high explosive at most things except for battleships. Now, if you were watching carefully to what I was doing, you would have noticed that I was waiting to do anything about that damaged gun I had. For one, it was on the opposite side that wasn't firing at the cruiser here. And two, when the fire came on, started up, that's when I decided to use it. Pretty much for fires, you want to, if you can, take those out as soon as possible, because that just bleeds you on damage. Now you see those smaller rounds? That's my secondary battery opening up into here. Every ship has a secondary battery. Well, I should say most ships. I'm not too sure if destroyers have it. That when ships are within a certain distance of your own, they'll automatically start firing. Which is kind of nice. It's like a little added safety measure. Man, this Chester's just not dying. There we go.
Enemy cruiser destroyed.
Alright, now I just have this one battleship up here. He's on such low health, I'm just gonna keep myself at... Yeah. I guess we won. Alright. You know what? It's all enemy warships destroyed. Okay. I guess he was just taken out without me noticing. Alright. Damage a ship by secondary battery fire and destroyer. Damage caused by secondary fire must exceed 20% of your ship's normal health. That's nice. Alright, so you'll notice I got a ton of credits with that. So far, the way they have the economy set up, you get a ton of credits. And I got a pretty good amount of experience from that as well. See how I did compared to my team. I had 3 confirmed kills. And that shows the experience I earned. They have it as 1.5 for your experience victory for the win so far. I'm pretty sure they're going to bump that up to ×2 when the full release is out. Yeah, did a pretty good job. Now from here, if you want to just keep going from battle to battle, they have a battle on button right here that shoots you into the next battle in the ship you used in this match, or in your last match. Or for me, I'm just going to click back to port. Oh good, I can show off some other things here. Alright, get that information panel on. So, up here you'll notice there's a little +1 over my ship's captain. Once you click on the captain, you have different skills that you can unlock using different points. And as you get down here, you have things that cost up to 5 points. And they have each their own special little things. Let's see. And they just give you like different little buffs and such to customize your ship's captain. Let's see. Battleships typically don't have a whole lot in anti-aircraft, so I'm going to hold off on that one. Situational awareness, that's always nice. This would be very nice. Improves performance of small caliber armament up to and including 155 millimeters. Nice. Now it's really good for the smaller battleships because a lot of their main guns actually are within 155 millimeters, which is pretty sweet. I think I'm gonna go with the basics of survivability. Getting that repair skill, the R hotkey, is so crucial. Alright, what can we buy? Let's see, I can pony up 500 free experience to upgrade the hull. I can upgrade the propulsion at the moment. That'll increase my speed and as such my maneuverability. Speed on this thing actually isn't that bad. So I think I'm going to save up for the hull. Because typically when you upgrade the hull, that's when you get more guns added onto your... added on. At least from what I've noticed. But it looks like the Type 3 Mod 2 gunfire control system adds a whole bunch of everything on there. Which is pretty nice. Alright. Also, they have daily missions that you can do. That'll have like little objectives that you can go for. Like this one, surprise attack. Get 500 free XP for 15 ship torpedo hits. And they'll automatically complete themselves after you fulfill each requirement. So it's not like you have to go into that menu, click on the specific mission and click battle. You can just click battle normally. Now they do have a leveling system in this, which is kind of interesting. It kind of reminds me of War Thunder in a way. And they give you different things along the way here. In level 1 you start off with co-op battles, which is just players versus AI. Great way to practice up on more or less basic skills. Once you get to rank 2, they unlock random battles and give you 100,000 credits. At rank 3, they give you daily missions. And I guess they give you a free item if a free slot is available, as well as 200,000 credits. At rank 4, you unlock free experience. And they give you 3,000 free experience to play with. At 5, you unlock the ship commanders and all that good stuff. And then 750,000 credits. Holy crap. At rank 6, you have upgrades, which is probably what I was just showing you guys. And wow, 1.25 million credits. That's a lot. And once I get to 7, which I'm almost at, you'll get signal flags, which you can read the description here. And then finally at 8, you have camouflage unlocked, and it looks like they give you 2 million credits. Alright, that's it for today. Give you guys a quick look into World of Warships, kind of the first video, I guess, of a playlist here for you guys. If you guys liked what you saw today, leave a like below. Definitely hit that subscribe button. That way you know when I'm going to be putting out more World of Warships videos and any other videos I put up on the channel. And thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Until then, have a great day.